Perfect. So let's begin. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. I am Nin, and I'll be your host. Let's start with my background. I started my professional career at Merrill Lynch with their private client group. At Merrill, we manage portfolios of high net worth individuals. While it was great to trade stocks and bonds, I was always curious about how these companies went public. Thus, after business school, I joined Pacific Crest Securities. PCS is a tech-focused investment bank with a global presence on software, communications, semiconductors, and internet and digital media. Here are a few transactions I worked on at PCS. In 2005, IPOs were at the peak, and it was amazing to take all these companies public. But that led to another question. How do VCs know what companies to invest in and which ones to take public? Thus, I joined Alpha Capital Partners. Alpha is a generalist fund with about $135 million of assets under management. My most recent transaction at Alpha was Circon, a software as a service provider company. During my time at Alpha, I realized how inefficient the fundraising process was, not necessarily at Alpha, but in general. That's how NIN Ventures came into existence. NIN Ventures is a first-of-its-kind technology venture capital fund to be marketed, raised, managed, and reported online. The general solicitation and general advertising rule under the Jobs Act and Rule 506C of the U.S. Securities Act made it possible for us to raise this fund. This rule came into effect September 23rd, and we were the first ones to go live with a website and videos about our fund. NIN Ventures also became the first venture fund to be seen on a billboard, which was followed by in-taxi ads and other social media facilitated marketing. So what will NIN Ventures Technology Fund invest in? The fund will invest in Series A and Series B rounds of path-breaking technology companies and write a check anywhere from $1 to $5 million based on the industry, sector, and stage. Our focus is primarily on financial services technology, education software, internet and digital media, mobile communications, cloud computing, 3D printing, and other path-breaking sectors within the United States. Let's start with a basic question. Why venture capital? Historically, if you look at U.S. Venture Capital Index and S&P 500, you will notice U.S. Venture Capital Index tends to outperform S&P 500. And not only that, they have an inverse correlationship. So what does that mean? For example, your traditional portfolio consists of 70% stocks, 20% bonds, 10% money market investment. With additional venture capital, your portfolio can now be 60% stocks, 20% bonds, 10% money market, and 10% venture capital investment. The addition of venture capital will not only help you diversify your investment, it will help you mitigate the risk given the inverse correlation between S&P 500 and U.S. Venture Capital Index. So why venture capital, and what is our strategy? Our strategy is to invest in early to growth stage path-breaking technology-focused companies. Now you'll ask why. If you notice, from 2002 to 2012, technology investments have dominated the venture capital industry. And the highest amount of venture capital funding occurred in the early to expansion stage. If you notice, from 2002 to 2011, sector-focused funds have outperformed generalist funds. And technology sector has outperformed the rest of the U.S. Venture Capital Index. With early to expansion stage companies yielding the highest returns. Thus, NIN Ventures will invest in path-breaking, early to growth stage technology companies will not only provide adequate financing, but will lend our domain expertise and network of partners to help companies with recruitment, PR and marketing, and a viable exit strategy. The strength of our team, the value of our network, and our funding model that's designed to reduce management costs creates this unique investment offering. So who can invest in the fund? One must be an accredited investor and verify themselves as an accredited investor before they can invest with us. An accredited investor is an individual with an income of more than $200,000 per year or a joint income of $300,000 in each of the last 2 years, or has a net worth exceeding $1 million either individually or jointly with his or her spouse, excluding the primary residence. For an entity, any trust with total assets in excess of $5 million. There are multiple ways to verify if you are an accredited investor. For an individual, income, asset, and third-party verification. For entity, it's asset and third-party verification. Credentials is our most preferred third-party verification method with a simple and confidential process at a click of the button. There are many options when it comes to investing in NIN Ventures, using your checking account, a defined benefit plan, self-directed IRAs, and now even Bitcoin. Bitcoin is emerging as a new form of alternative payment and a global currency. We at NIN Ventures understand the significance of this change and thus have teamed up with SnapCard to let Bitcoin owners like yourself tap into venture capital. We allow Bitcoin owners to attain liquidity via SnapCard in return for investment in the NIN Ventures Technology QP Fund. I will now pass on the presenter role to Michael Dunworth, CEO of SnapCard. Michael, can you please tell our audience a little bit about yourself, SnapCard, and the reason for teaming up with NIN Ventures?
Sure. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. So obviously, we spoke probably about 3 or 4 months ago, and, NIN Ventures, it was a really cool opportunity to get, kind of this new avenue of venture capital involved in Bitcoin because, not just directly investing into Bitcoin, but actually allowing sort of Bitcoin enthusiasts and early adopters to sort of invest their Bitcoins into different avenues. So trying to basically give them the opportunity to sort of invest their Bitcoins and make a bit more money on their Bitcoins or a bit more return, hopefully. And sort of our goal at SnapCard is what we are. We're a payment processor allowing companies to accept Bitcoin. And we've sort of always trying to make new things happen for the Bitcoin user. So we like doing firsts. Obviously investing in venture capital is a first with Bitcoin. And we're pretty excited about that. Sort of over the history of our company, we've been around since mid 2013, and we've always tried to be doing pushing the boundaries basically. So as we started talking with NIN, it made NIN Ventures. It basically made a lot of sense for us because we haven't seen a venture capital firm, sort of traditional venture capital firm, start taking Bitcoin as a payment method. So for us, that was a really exciting opportunity to sort of get that there. And now here we are, sort of explaining it more and helping educate people on the opportunities at hand.
Well, thank you, Michael. That was excellent. So there are 4 major reasons why you should invest your Bitcoin. Number 1 is Bitcoin instability. Bitcoin has declined in value almost 80% since its peak just over a year ago, and still tends to remain volatile. There are many vendors that accept Bitcoin and various places where you can spend Bitcoin. But NIN Ventures is a unique opportunity for you to invest and attain liquidity in the form of investment versus just spending it. like Michael explained, you get to tap into the venture capital space with a return on investment. To invest in NIN Ventures using SnapCard, one must first sign up on accreditation. The next step is to complete the subscription documents and select payment with SnapCard. Given the daily fluctuations in Bitcoin pricing, the settlement price will be based on the date of the initial and final close, and those dates will be notified to you in advance. Let's go through the investment process step by step in detail. Visit nin.vc to sign up. Sign up is simple: first name, last name, email, password, and acknowledge you are an accredited investor. Once you sign up, you get access to our marketing materials. That is PPM, investor presentation, and other suggested readings. You get invited to attend our events and calls like this. You can also schedule a one-on-one meeting with us at our office or online via Skype. Once you decide to make an investment, accept the risk and disclosure statement that will explain what venture capital investing is. The next step is to verify accreditation. Credentials is our most preferred third-party verification method. Once that is in order, it's only a matter of filling out subscription document and a W-9 form. The last step is selecting Pay with SnapCard and entering the amount you wish to invest. Once you finish the payment process on nin.vc, SnapCard will send you an invoice on a closing date of the fund, which will be due immediately. Please be on the lookout for that email and make sure you complete your payment process. You will be subject to return fees for failure of doing so. Please note that venture capital is a high-risk, high-reward investment vehicle, and we strongly recommend reviewing the other suggested reading on our website before making any investment decisions. On that note, we are open to questions. Please type your questions in the chat box and we'll make sure we answer them all. All right, looks like we got a bunch of them. Let's start. Will I be investing in US dollars or Bitcoin? You will be investing in NIN Ventures Technology Fund with US dollars. SnapCard will actually only be acting as a facilitator to transfer that Bitcoin that you're using to convert into US dollars. NIN Ventures only accepts investments in the form of US dollars. Next question, is there a transaction fee? The good news is there is no transaction fee for using SnapCard to invest in NIN Ventures Technology QP Fund. How does settlement work? Michael, do you want to address this question? How does settlement work on your end once they receive an invoice from you?
Yep, no worries. So I think that was said by David. So David, what we do is we will, at the closing date for NIN Ventures, an invoice will be issued to you via email, and that will send you to a payment page. You'll be able to pay the invoice, and once that invoice is paid, it'll be registered on NIN Ventures systems, and the settlement then goes through us. So SnapCard will receive the confirmation, and we'll say you're investing $25,000. We'll issue the Bitcoin invoice for $25,000 US in Bitcoin, and you pay that. That gets confirmed on our end, and then we provide the next day settlement to NIN Ventures in the form of US dollars, which is what they've chosen to receive the payouts in.
Perfect.
John, sorry, Nin.
Good. Whom should I call with questions? So if you have specific fund-related questions in terms of NIN Ventures or the fund, you can contact you can contact us directly. Our contact information is up on the screen. And if you have any settlement-related questions or SnapCard-related questions, you can reach out to Michael and his team. Michael, would you like to put out a phone number and email for people to reach out to SnapCard just in case?
Yep. I will put that in there right now.
Perfect.
So if you've got any questions, you can just, actually, I'll just send that to all. NIN Ventures. So you can just shoot, if guys, if there's any, or everyone, if there's any settlement related questions or anything related to SnapCard in general, just shoot across an email, ninventures@snapcard.io. That'll go to us here at SnapCard, and we'll know that it's obviously related to the NIN Ventures call that we've just had now. But yeah, anything about how the process works, invoice expiry times, any sort of Bitcoin related questions that you might have, and we can basically get those sorted for you.
Perfect. Well, we have one more question. How are returns distributed? So just like I explained a little bit earlier, we only accept US dollars, and returns will be distributed in the form of US dollars as well. Any other questions? Once again, thank you, Michael, and thank you everyone for being on the call. Sign up on nin.vc to begin your investment process. Feel free to reach out to us at contact@nin.vc or 312-953-0930 to request a one-on-one meeting with any other questions and material requests. Have a wonderful day and happy investing.
Thank you.